Hello, today I'll be coding this loader and I'll be doing it with SVG. So I start with a radius for that circle thing, and let's say it's going to be something like 600. Then we compute the viewbox dimensions, and the width is going to be a few times this radius, the height half the width, the horizontal offset minus half the width, and the vertical offset minus half the height. Okay, now that I've done this, let's create SVG element, give it a view box. So the offsets, the dimensions along the two axes. Now let's join everything. Okay, now let's create that circle, give it that radius r. Okay, so now that we've done this, we should see the circle. Okay, we did. Now let's start styling the SVG. So let's set fill none. Then let's set a stroke equal to this color. So I picked those using the DevTools color picker from the original thing. Okay, next stroke width, let's say something like 5%. So this should do it. Yeah. I'm seeing it. Now let's create a copy of this. So use okay, and let's give it a gradient stroke. So for that we create a linear gradient, give it an ID G. Next we have stop, stop color. We take this color from here, and now we just copy paste this, take this color from here, add an offset. If it's not specified, it's 0, which is why I'm not adding it for the first one, just leaving the default 0. Now for this use, set stroke URL that gradient. Okay, now this now works. Now let's make this a dashed thing. So this dash is going to be a quarter of the circle length. So that's going to be half of pi times the radius. And let's round this. And that's not going to work. Okay, like this. Now let's set this. So style. So the first dash is going to be just that value. And we use pixels because otherwise it's not going to work on Edge. Actually, I don't know if it's going to fully work on Edge because I'll be using transforms on SVG elements, and that's a relatively new thing in Edge. I don't know how well it works. I haven't actually tested, so yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, so now let's set stroke dash array. Let's see how this looks. Okay, now one more thing. Stroke line cap. Make this round. Okay, this looks nice now. Now I want to start with this being at the bottom. So to do this, I'll put it in a group. Okay, and I'll actually set these styles on the group together with a transform, rotate 45 degrees. Okay, so this now is going to start at the bottom. Okay, now let's collapse this JS part because I won't be using it for anything else. The thing is, I can't do the rotation without rotating the gradient if I put this rotation on the group or on the use. So what I'll be doing is adding a mask. And here I have a circle. This I'll make it the radius double that r, and I'll also give it a fill, which is going to be black, so I block out everything else. And then I'll be taking it's going to be the exact same use. Okay, so what I do is here is where I'll actually be setting this stuff. So here I just set the mask URL m, and here is where I set this. And one more thing, so I'll be setting an animation, actually 2 animations. So the first animation is going to be a rotation. So keyframes rotate, 2 turns. Okay, so animation, rotation, and I'll be making this something like this. That's going to be my duration, infinite. Okay, now I want a bit of a bounce, so I'll be doing this with a custom timing function. So let's say it's going to be 0.5 minus 0.5, 0.5 and 1.5. Let's see how this works. Okay, not quite that pronounced, maybe slightly. I think this is better. I'll just leave it like this. And then another thing I want, a stretch. So this is going to go to, and I'll actually be using this one right here, and the other one I'll reverse it here, just reverse it, and here I'll go something and here let's have the second animation, so the stretch, which is going to be half the same duration. Easing out, infinite, alternate. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, it starts stretching way too soon, so let's keep it at this for a bit longer. Actually, I think I can do something like this. So yeah, I think this works. I think it works like this, just fine. So yeah, I'll be leaving the animation like this. Let's just prettify a bit. Give it a max width. Okay, and on the body, just to put the whole thing in the middle. Okay, so yeah, this is it. This is what I wanted to show you for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have and you want me to be able to put out more stuff in the future, please consider supporting my work in one of the ways explained in the description below. You can do it with a donation. There's a donation link in the description, or you can get me something off my Amazon wishlist, which is something that will make this kitty very happy. In any event, thanks for watching.